Recovery Daily podcast. Oh, I forgot to say hi twice so that the microphone would pick it up. Hi, welcome to the Recovery Daily podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Abbasi. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and stroke survivor. And today is our last day in the series of acceptance framework. So today is stage 6, and it is lovingly called flow. I don't know why I said that, but it is. It's loving. And so flow is where we're living our new normal. Flow is not having, at this point, we're reaching that point of acceptance and we're living with the thing that we didn't want to accept. And flow does not mean that there is no fear. There is no feeling, that you don't have feelings anymore about the issue. It means that we have gone through the process of knowing where those feelings belong. Those feelings become almost a seatbelt that keeps you locked in to your momentum and your drive in order to keep living with this thing. It's something, those feelings are something that we stay aware of as long as they're there. And we no longer use them as an obstacle. They're no longer a brick wall, excuse me, that keeps you stuck. So we're no longer bracing for impact. And we're just moving through life with what is actually, with reality, having realistic and personal safeguards in place. In my case, it is living with my disability. It's doing, I mentioned yesterday going through this acceptance framework almost every day sometimes. And when I'm facing something like crossing a parking lot and being too embarrassed to ask if I can hold on to the person's arm that I'm with, that is a process in itself. And then the next day comes and there's something else I need to accept about my disability, but this stage of flow allows me to breathe easier and do the thing, like do the next right thing. I'm still mindful again about the feelings that I'm having about all the scary stuff, but I'm no longer in survival mode. I'm getting back to routines. My confidence is building, and I'm feeling maybe not steady or vestibular wise, but I'm feeling steadier in where I'm living, in the space that I'm living in, because I know what help I can reach out for. And again, I have stopped like bracing and started to live again. So the path through flow isn't something that again we just do without emotions. Like we have to maintain it through being constantly gentle with ourselves and keep being grounded, keep pausing, keep talking about it with another trusted person. And this is where the whole program of my sobriety that I also apply to my stroke recovery comes in. That self-inventory, like taking breaks to think about, where am I with this thing? For me, where am I with this disability? Where am I emotionally, physically, and spiritually with this disability. One thing that I have been doing recently, and I've been talking to one of my nieces about it, is I've been leaning a little bit further into learning more about church, learning more about my own faith, and it's something that feels like it's eliminating some stress. And maybe it's just doing that in a way that it's helping me to refocus on something that is equally as important as my disability, you know? And when I have difficult times, I can use my God box, which I've talked to you about having this virtual, it's not virtual. Uh-oh, I'm stuck on that word again. This imaginary, that's right, God box where when I get stuck, when I'm feeling like my feelings are turning into a brick wall, instead of instead of feeding my momentum, then I can put it in my God box because I can't control it. I can't control my disability. The only thing that I can do is keep up with my physical therapy and keep showing up. And the rest of the stuff I can't control. Today, I felt pretty bad. I ended up taking a 4 hour nap this afternoon. That's not what I woke up planning to do today, but we ended up, funny little anecdote. We were making our shopping list. My husband, of course, needs to do all the shopping because I can't drive. I can't go down shopping aisles and stuff like that. So he goes and gets all of that stuff done. So we use our Apple devices to create a shopping list in the reminders app. So I added all the things that I needed for my recipes for this week. And one of the things that I'm going to make is a Pennsylvania Dutch. It's called apples and buttons. It's apples, ham, and dumplings. And I think it's kind of like a soup. Yeah, I think it's kind of like a stew. And anyway, it called for a pound of ham hock, which I don't know how we're going to find ham hock. Anyway, he ended up getting some ham something, and it was little tiny bone in rings of ham. I didn't look at what type of meat it was. Anyway, that's not the point. And what was on the shopping list was 2 pounds of dried apples. And so he went back to the shopping list. He's like, 2 pounds of dried apples. Why in the world will you need 2 pounds of dried apples? And I was like, I don't know. That's what the recipe said. He was like, where is this recipe? So I told him where to find it. He looked, it was 2 cups of dried apples, not 2 pounds. But these are small mistakes that end up being very impactful when, my husband's going to the to the grocery store and he's bringing back 2 pounds of dried apples. That didn't happen. He brought back a little bit of, actually, he's out right now at the second store getting the dried apples and such. But I start making those kinds of mistakes, and that's where I'm checking in. So not just my daily check-in on where I am emotionally, physically, and spiritually, but I also have to do those check-ins like, why am I saying something so ridiculous as 2 pounds? I know that it doesn't seem like a big deal, but I don't make big errors like that unless I've gone too far and I've done too much. And my disability, like my head was hurting and I was ignoring it. And that's when I need to go back and do another acceptance. Like that's what I did. It was a mini acceptance. I had to recognize that whatever plans I had for today are out. I need to rest because I don't need to live like that. I don't need to live in pain and confused and using wrong words and all of these things. It's not necessary. My head had that rubber band feeling. It's just, I'm learning how to let go. Wow, this morning's meeting was about letting go. Okay. Um, let go of whatever my plans were and take care of myself. And if that's hard on hard days, create a gratitude list. What am I grateful for? When I feel like I have to let go of what my plans are and take care of myself, focus on my health, I forget, I get into that self-pity. And what really works well for me that coincides with that is a gratitude list. I may not be able to do what I wanted to today, but I'm so grateful for fill in the blank. Like I took a really nice walk with my dog today. We walked over, it's about a half a mile. We walked over to the community pool and I think she loves going over there to the community pool because I think she can smell the chlorine and it reminds her of how much fun she has on doggy swim day at the end of the year because she got all hyper right when we got over to the pool. And I was like, "You're not swimming, honey. You're not swimming." But I really appreciated that time this morning. It was beautiful outside. And some other things that I'm really grateful for, all the hobbies that I am just knee deep in, waist deep in. I'm doing lots of things. I'm painting a rock for the rock garden in the community that's over by the pool. And I'm still working on my gnome that is made out of a collagen scoop and lid. And I have some earrings, additional earrings that I made. I'm waiting to seal my painting. Like, there's so much that I have to be grateful for. And I need to keep that perspective rooted in my day. It's hard to do that, but that gratitude list can become a steering wheel that keeps you facing the direction that you need to be facing. So, this stage of flow, it doesn't mean that that thing that you were trying to accept crossing the parking lot that there aren't going to be setbacks. I'm always going to be challenged by certain things. And every parking lot is different, right? Every challenge that we have has a different spice to it. It's a little different than the last. It's a customized experience, and I have to accept each and every one. So I may have a setback, and it matters how I respond to that setback. Um, I can cycle back through some of the earlier stages if I have a support, a walking partner, if you will, and I'm still feeling uncomfortable. Maybe my partner isn't the right one. Maybe the person that I'm going walking with isn't the right one. Maybe fear will spike again. Maybe I'll get frustrated because we're walking through a parking lot and some crazy person drives like a bat out of hell through the parking lot and it scares me. The point is not to get feeling, let it stop you. It's okay to feel embarrassed again. It's okay to feel the same feelings that were challenging you before. We just enter back into the framework and see where it is that we need to do the work. And don't think of it as I've regressed. I do that a lot. I remember telling my boss back when I first left my job that I had regressed at the point where I actually had to leave the job. I said that I had regressed. And he said, don't look at it as regressed. It's just a new challenge. So I didn't like it when he said that, but I get it now. I get that the word regressed makes it seem like the challenge got bigger, but it didn't get bigger. It just changed shape. So knowing this framework and how to name my feelings and learn how to, when I lose focus, like refocus, reset my goals, and rebuild how I'm going to do this. This stage of flow is a time for reflection. What was the challenge that I was faced with, and what did it make me feel like, and what did I do to win over that challenge and celebrate that you did it. I mean, all of this for me was about reaching for somebody's hand to cross a parking lot. Um, when I do that, I want to be able to do that without feeling like I like I shouldn't be. I don't know how to say that. I want to do it. I want to reach out for somebody's arm and feel confident that that is the right thing for me to do, and don't be embarrassed about it. Um, I want to be able to learn how to do some of these things without with those feelings being lessened. And so I'm going to do that by doing it a little at a time, and having a support network when I'm not feeling fine, or if I'm having those feelings, be honest about it and share my story with other people. That is so encouraging to other people with a disability to be able to hear how you are facing yours. I get so freaking much out of my vestibular support group that meets on Mondays at 3, and they come to the table with, this is what happened for me this week. This is what I'm challenged with. Um, my confidence level has decreased, or I felt really bad in the elevator. And if I listen, it helps me throughout the week with what I'm facing. That vestibular support group and network with VITA, the Vestibular Association. The Vestibular Disorder Association has been paramount for me to know how to face the world with this disability, because it's such a weird one. Um, so that's where we're at. That is our acceptance framework, and this has been fun. So thanks for going through it with me. Um, I'm looking forward to what I'm working on now is a presentation of it, and I'm going to have a little handout too. And it's because, one, I'm an overachiever, but two, I wanted to have this easily accessible for myself and for anybody else who is like, let me, you know what? I can't seem to accept this. I'll try anything. Let's try Rachel's acceptance framework and see how it works for me. I do really well with structure, so it's part of my overachiever. It's a part of my overachieverness. So, series recap. We've got 6 stages for the acceptance framework. It is the 6 F's. And the first one is fine. It is denial disguised as I'm okay. Stage 2 is focus, where reality becomes clear. And 3 is friction. It's the pushing back on those emotions that come to the surface once reality comes clear. Stage 4 is framework, and that's where we follow this structure so that it provides us with some direction, so it doesn't feel like we're just flailing our arms up in the air and we don't know what to do. And then 5 is flex. Repetition builds confidence. And stage 6 of the acceptance framework is flow, where life resumes its rhythm and we stop resisting. And in summary, this whole series can be summarized with see it, own it, live it. So I definitely encourage you to reach out to me and let me know if you have tried the acceptance framework and how it worked for you. Like, what did you apply? What didn't fit? And what do you want to hear more about? Um, there are future series that I could do. I could do it on career transitions, relapses, anything, whatever you want to hear about. I would love to hear from you, and I can put something together like this series. So remember that the final stage of flow isn't the end of acceptance. It's where the real living begins, where um, we're acknowledging the feelings and letting them drive us forward. So thank you so much for listening. This was super fun, and I will talk to you tomorrow with some new and exciting topic. I'm telling you, I collected a lot of topics over the past week. So this was a fun experience for me. Thanks for joining me, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.